Journal of Medicine, the major publications, the major journals, and they're influencing regulation and policy and FDA. And so when you figure out that there's undue influence by these for-profit companies, because the number one rule of business, as you know, as an entrepreneur and a business guy, is acquire a customer and keep that customer as long as you can. Call it lifetime value of that customer. And that's what medicine is. They get you, you acquire you as a customer, they put you on a drug. That drug has side effects. They have to put you on another drug to mitigate the side effects of that drug. Now you get side effects from that polypharmacy. They have to put you on another drug to mitigate those side effects. And now you look up and people who are 50 to 60 years old and older are on 10, 12, 18 different medications. That's the best financial model in the world. So it's a great financial model, but it's at the expense of our health and the health of everybody living in the world. And in the US, we have the sickest population in the world. Now, for the first time in the history of Western medicine, have discussions between physician and patient on how do we wean you off this drug. That conversation has never had before, because it's always, if this doesn't work, come back and I'll prescribe you more drugs. Let's do the opposite. You come back and let's understand the root of cause of disease. Let's say, okay, well, if we are addressing this, you don't need this medication. And if you don't need this medication, you don't need this medication. And now for the first time, you start weaning patients off of drugs. And what happens? You're now impeding upon the market share of these multi-billion-dollar drug companies who make their living buying influence, regulating policy, influencing policy. And the FDA is a stepping stone to a board seat of Big Pharma. Every former FDA official in the US for the past 20 or 30 years goes on to become multi-million-dollar salaried employee from Big Pharma. It has to stop.
Despite spending nearly 20% of the United States GDP on healthcare, the US ranks last overall on health outcomes among high-income countries, including having the highest infant mortality rates and lowest life expectancy. It's unbelievable.
No, that's depressing. But those are the facts. And you have to understand, those are indisputable data, right? And so when people hear that, they go, but when you look at kind of the system, and I don't blame doctors, because doctors get into this field. I was on the admissions committee to UT Medical School for a number of years. So we interviewed a lot of these young kids, figure out what their motivation was. Will they have a successful career in medicine? And almost everyone, there's always the exception, but everyone gets into medicine because they want to make a difference. They're driven by curiosity, and most of them want to leave a lasting legacy and help people. That's what drives entry into healthcare.